Emergency flight. Late one August evening, a fellow named Edwards was stretched out on his backyard lawn, flat on the cool grass itself. The heat inside his home had been intolerable, ruined his sleep, so he had gone out to the backyard in the hope of getting a little rest. He happened to be gazing at the full moon, an intense silver bright moon, and the way its light seemed to cast directly through the leaves of a large cottonwood. The leaves fluttered almost imperceptibly in a slight wind and had taken on a strange green translucent glow. Edwards lay on his back with his hands behind his head and drank in this vision, for that is how he began to think of it, until he realized that one of his neighbors was in his backyard also, talking with a guest. His attention quickly shifted from the cottonwood leaves to the conversation underway nearby, the voices of the two men perfectly audible in the still, peaceful night. He visualized them sitting in a pair of lawn chairs, one drinking a beer, the other a gin and tonic. He scooted to the edge of a lilac bush as though seeking the protection of its foliage. He listened as a deep voice said, "I've heard plenty of stories about him, but he seemed decent enough to me the other day when we were talking about gardening. We got to talking about this, that, and the other thing, you know. Like I said, he seemed pretty regular to me." Then a reedy voice replied, "Maybe so, but you probably haven't heard that the company asked him to take medical leave. He and I work in the same division." "Oh, why was that?" "Well, the scuttlebutt is that he was headed for a nervous breakdown. They say that his work was going to hell." "I know that his wife left him for some other guy. They used to fight like cats and dogs." Edward winced. They could only be talking about him. "Yes, some people can't keep it together. It's a real shame." "Yeah, that's for sure. If people would just lead a clean, God-fearing life, the world would be a better place. But it just seems that fewer and fewer people can do that nowadays." "Sure, it's always been tough out there, survival of the fittest, you know." Suddenly a tremendous noise overtook the talk to which Edwards had been listening with mounting consternation. Then he saw lights, and the roar grew deafening, and a great wind shook the lilac bushes savagely, the hair on his head like wheat under the force of a tornado. He watched in utter disbelief as a helicopter landed in his backyard. He stood up cautiously as the motion of the rotor blades began to subside. The pilot opened the bubble door and leaped down to Edwards' lawn. He said, "Are you all right, sir? I've come to help you." "All right? All right?" Edwards repeated in hot indignation. "Of course I'm all right. Now just what the hell do you think you're doing here?" "As I've already told you," the pilot said, stepping towards Edwards, who was now trembling in both outrage and apprehension. "You need help. I've been given to understand that your health is very bad." "My health is just fine, goddammit. And I have no intention of paying for a bloody helicopter ambulance, so why don't you just take off, leave the same way you came?" The pilot casually withdrew a revolver from a discreet holster strapped around his shoulder beneath his leather flight jacket. "I'm sorry, sir, I can't do that. Doctor's orders, you see." "You can take your bloody doctor's orders and shove it. Now piss off." "No can do, bud." Edwards, heedless of the revolver, stepped directly up to the pilot and looked at him straight in the eye. "You'll have to kill me first," he avowed. "Well, that's hardly necessary," the pilot said, and discharged the weapon, which hissed as its CO2 cartridge sent a dart loaded with a powerful tranquilizer into Edwards' stomach. Edwards crumpled to the ground. The pilot levered the unconscious man up over his shoulder and carried the body to the helicopter, allowing the dead weight of Edwards to slip onto a cushion. The man then took his seat in front of the controls. With a brief, nearly sad grin, he engaged the rotor blades. The lawn was whipped to a frenzied struggle as the helicopter lifted off the ground and sped away, momentarily silhouetted in front of the moon. "Oh, crap. Never guess I did.